this is the start of our fucking session.
The energy is immaculate. Are you recording?
I am recording, and I've got the music playing too.
Wonderful. So, we're going to start right after Arthur and Tsubasa were talking. Razz.
Yeah.
While those two are in the kitchen discussing any manner of important business, Aster has evaded every single opportunity to even just gently pet Junebug. And a flicker of a memory of last night passes through your head that slows you down almost to a grinding halt. A distant ringing of a scream that it shouldn't come from someone younger than you. Hell, even in that state, you don't even think even your worst enemies, even times that you wished hell upon your siblings, not that. And you don't know you've stopped chasing until Aster has already tried to run past you. Aster, what do you do? Because Razz looks out of it.
Slowly. Slow and steady. The moment he's at the entrance, just goes, "Hey bud, you alright?" And then runs.
I feel like by the
Identical.
time, by the time she looks over there, he's probably already out of sight. Like, wait a second, where was I?
He's like peeking over the wall, like, "You good?
That's not how you change
You good?"
friends.
Yeah. She tucks Junebug under her arm. Great. Even. Says like a liar.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll Insight, and Razz rolled Deception.
Hello.
Dirty 20.
I got a poker face.
Damn. Okay,
Razz
I
getting a
believe you.
Razz getting a 20 on a I'm fine. It's just everything to me. Oh.
Horrible.
Oh.
But yeah,
There's a limit to which I assume even a nat 20 can deceive. When you're flat out lying through your teeth and you're not exactly hiding it.
Yeah, it's like that. It's a very blatant mood switch. Like, just the thought like smashes her brain. I feel like.
Aster, I'll
Eliminate-
say this. Without meeting it with a natural 20, you don't know exactly what's bothering Razz, but you know something switched the mood from playful to solemn.
You're bullshitting me. I don't know about what, but you're bullshitting me.
Maybe so. It'd be okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Stop it. Get that feathered demon away from me.
I think
Razz.
we ought to. Huh?
Make an intelligence check real quick for me. At the mention of get that feathered demon away from me, it occurs to you in a very sickening, stricken kind of way why Lex has been so terrified to talk to people and let them close. Nobodies are not treated very well. Much in the same way in our world, different races, different, hell, sometimes even blood types are discriminated against. Nobodies in Kingdom Hearts are not treated with the respect that a normal person gives. Because they are seen as monsters, demons, devils, things.
After like a long silence, another like brain stop moment, she keeps going towards Esther, but is more focused on behind. Just, I think we need to go. I think I need to check on Lex.
Is something wrong with him?
I mean, he woke up in a bad way. He woke up.
At the
I
risk
think
of sounding rude, do any of us wake up in a good way?
No, but I mean, we usually don't wake up screaming. Like screaming, not like you with Junebug. Like it was scary.
Scary haunted house or scary, like, white person going in the woods scary?
Scary, like inside of yourself. Scary. Inside of. We should just go. She's like is sure to like keep Junebug under her arm securely, because
Aster is glaring at Junebug.
There's the tiniest of curious peeps. Just the beep, 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 beep.
all right. Well, she's got her eyes on the prize.
Razz.
Hmm.
As you get within sight of where the door is normally open, it is closed. No doubt because Arthur is likely not in the room. But you do hear shuffling and the distant whoa.
Knock, but like gentle. Where usually it's like it's like knock, 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 knock.
Distantly, there's a very tired rendition of Lex's voice just going, "Come in. I know it's you, Razz."
Are you okay with birds?
Why would I not be?
Okay, just making sure, cause stuff. But Junebug with her.
On the bed, sitting up, but still mostly under covers, looking like he just woke up from a not exactly restful but needed nap. Borderline sleep if it wasn't for what you assume is keeping him awake. The Aurelion cub is sprawled across his lap and trying to nuzzle into his side, most aggressive cuddling. And then looking at you with a patient smile, he just goes, "How can I help you?"
Can I sit with you?
Sure. And he kind of moves to sit, kind of cross-legged, kind of expecting to be joined on the bed.
Yeah. As sit also cross-legged, kind of like she's kind of like fiddling with her fingers a little bit, like nervous about bringing this up because it's one of those things that she spent like a long time in the morning wondering whether or not she should do anything because was it even her business? But couldn't just let it rest. I heard you this morning. I don't know who else did, but I did.
Make an insight check. His expression shifts, and you can't exactly read it. Even though he's dropped some pretenses around you, especially after you've seen him scarred up and damaged, for lack of a better term, he seems to still be mostly on guard in a way that makes it very difficult for you to read his expression, even though he is still smiling. Yeah, sorry about that. That
No,
doesn't happen very often.
sorry's not sorry's not necessary. I'm guessing it's not something you could control. It wasn't just a scream, it was a whole scream. It wasn't like it was scary, and I'm sure it was scarier for you.
He almost absent-mindedly starts petting the Aurelion cub as if he's grown more than already used to the idea of having it around. And without looking up at you, goes, "It was a little scary, yeah. But I've dealt with scarier. A dream's not going to affect me for very long. I just feel bad for scaring Arthur. He already worries enough." Already defends me enough. He doesn't need all that.
I'm sure he'd be awfully lonely without you.
He has you guys.
Yeah, but we only just met him. You're like his dude, his best.
He visibly brightens at that. Well, yeah, I've known him practically all my life. He's my best friend. I'd do anything for him.
And you think he's gonna get that from any of us? We only just met him. We can't be his friends since childhood. We're already out of that part. Most of
What do you mean, most of us? We're all out of childhood era. We're in
Thinking-
college, remember?
thinking violently of Tsubasa and Lex, like they're still children. Come on.
They're
Just
still
little
babies.
Yeah, they're just the little guys. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
And without missing a beat, he just gives you a deadpan look and goes, "I'm not a kid." With a tone shift you don't expect from him.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last line? I was laughing at Taylor's thing.
He says with a tone shift you don't expect from him, "I'm not a kid."
I mean, you should be able to be.
I don't get that luxury anymore. I'm a bodyguard. I have to be something else before I'm allowed to be a kid. In that same tone from before that you now easily recognize as his presentery, not facade, but it's more like the way a knight at parade uses ceremonial armor over practical one. It is presentery, for lack of a better term. It makes people feel safer. And without a role needed, his hesitance on saying something else, means that he's expected to be a monster first.
You don't have to pretend like that's okay, though.
What isn't?
That you don't get to be a kid, that you don't get to... They expect you... horrible things. Because you're not a horrible thing, and that's not fair.
He tilts his head. Where did you hear I was a horrible thing?
I didn't, I just...
It's
I was
okay.
thinking.
It's okay. I'm used to it. Even if people don't know I'm however much of a nobody that I am, they don't see me as a person. And never will. And that's okay. Because I have Artie. Stop trying to kill Zahn. I'm trying to have a serious fucking moment. Gun emoji. Anyway, Razz.
Don't you want to do more than fight for him? With him?
What do you mean? With the most innocent fucking expression.
Like,
Head tilt in the full, like, huh?
just...
I feel like Razz is dying. Hold on.
Yeah,
Just please.
wouldn't it be nice? Take a walk with him without being on edge, thinking about what others would think for him being.
Just this, like, slow blink, and then a quicker one. I take walks with him all the time. That's what a bodyguard does. I walk beside him.
Hands on her head. That's the point. As a bodyguard, not just a friend. Don't you deserve to just be a friend, be a person?
But I'm not. Well, I am a friend. I'm not a person.
Oh, Lex.
What? The lion cub is looking directly at you, Razz, and just look at me kind of thing.
She looks to him.
This small, essentially toddler version of a massive dream eater that you've only heard about from Aster, being as big as they can get. As a druid, you don't need to cast a spell to understand Dream Eater, or Nightmare for that matter. So when you look at this small cub, you just hear the tiniest voice behind the grumbling growls of, he's very silly. He's very silly. He's very sad, too. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here too.
And Lex decides to go, oh, right, you can understand, I don't have a name for them yet. Lex kind of hesitates for a second and goes, I don't know if I'd be able to take care of a Dream Eater. I'm kind of too busy, like I told the others.
I'll help, but I think he'll be good for you. You'll be good for him.
Well, yeah, because I think he got taken away from where he was, so I kind of have to, I think. What did Aster even do?
Adopt.
Oh,
We went to his dad's house. He found a few things out. Came home with some friends.
maybe you should go check up on Arthur. I'll be here. I'm on bed rest. Arthur told me so.
Just don't feel right leaving you on your own.
He just
Unless you-
double takes. What do you mean?
Because I mean, you gotta admit it. Just saying stuff like you're not a human, and then the screaming, and then I just don't think. Unless you want me to get him for you. But I don't think you should be alone.
I'm gonna say this is your last part of your scene. You've effectively blue screened him.
Said,
Because
what?
you've effectively blue screened him because he doesn't understand the sentiment you're trying to give to him. B, he doesn't know if he wants to intrude on whatever Arthur's doing. C, you've basically just told him to his face he deserves to be treated with respect, and he can't handle all three of those at the same time.
Yeah.
So, Arthur and Tsubasa, how you holding up?
I mean, we're existing.
Well, you guys were last talking about how Lex seems to know more than he lets on.
And I can't remember exactly how that had ended.
It ended with Arthur making the note that he does seem to occasionally mention Scala ad Kylum, and that Tsubasa had noted that he hadn't mentioned anything about the dream before then.
Yeah.
You're free to leave the kitchen and go back to the other locations. I'm just getting everybody in the same area.
Yeah, no, understandable. That was pretty much all Tsubasa had to say to Arthur because, this is a little weird. We should probably go back to Lex anyways.
Yeah, just keep note of that for later, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, I am planning to talk to King once I get the chance, and well, we've got the meeting with Queen. Yeah.
Just to make sure, you mean King as in the one we talked to last time, right?
Yes, I mean that
Okay.
king. Not
So
not any of the other kings. That one specific.
Just wanted to clarify.
I know.
Arthur, panic.
Arthur, why do you need to talk to my dad? Tsubasa, conveniently not telling Kim. Funny story about that. Actually, should I?
You can if you want.
Your decision.
Yeah, no, they clarify that, and then Arthur, the Tsubasa does pause for a moment. It's just like, oh, right, there is that too.
I'm not gonna pry.
I mean,
Because if it's a talk with my dad, then I'm sure it's extremely serious.
especially considering how Grandmaster Gawain is the one setting it up.
No, we should let's go back to Lex.
Yeah, let's go back to Lex.
The parental figures. I want you to know that as you're getting closer to the other people in the dorms, it is starting to get a little louder as people wake up and people generally start to, well, Lance and Killian probably aren't being loud because of the whole thing of they just went to see Mama Bedivere in the real early hours of the morning, and both of them are probably exhausted both emotionally and physically for various reasons.
Yeah.
Helia, however, you do hear chit chatter outside of this campus starting to wake up because you're on the outer edge as well, and you do, as you reluctantly open your eyes, you're met with your Komori bet just staring you dead in the face from the fucking pillow next to you, just squeaking at you happily.
Very, very slowly reach out, gently scritch the baby.
Just happier squeaks. As a you are a ranger, correct?
Yes.
You don't get the full sentences, but you get the emotional curiosity almost as Marigold looks over at your door where the footsteps that had come into focus are now fading down the hallway, which you assume is at least Arthur.
Genuine processing because she's still waking it up, and then just, do you want to go check that out?
You get the feeling more than you get the word of yes. Because
Deep
the baby,
sigh.
yeah, the baby has not met everyone yet, like the others have.
Deep sigh. All right. Come on, little one.
Just clambers onto your hand, and then up your shoulder.
On the shoulder. In the hair where it's safe, you know.
It's dark and cool.
Full of secrets.
That's why it's so big.
God damn it. There we go. Shut up. Nobody saw that. It's fine. Peek out into the hallway, see who's out here.
You distantly towards the entrance of the dorms see Tsubasa ducking into Arthur and Lex's room. But otherwise the door to Lance's room is actually shut for once.
Stairs. Decides that if Lance wants to shut the door, he might actually be sleeping. And is going to walk away.
Yeah, sleeping.
Hey! The three of you that are approaching the door, by the time you open the first door, the second door is already cracked open. And you hear you hear Razz laughing almost nervously, trying to talk her way out of a situation she got herself into because Lex has the blue screen reaction right now.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning she said something and he didn't process it.
Too much thinking for him.
Yeah. Razz, they're walking in and Arthur, you immediately clock, understands the expression that has crossed his best friend's face. Tsubasa, you're not sure what's going on per se. No insight check needed, but you know Lex is going through it.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Is Lex okay?
He's thinking.
You can see the fucking loading symbol, can't you?
Yeah, no, Tsubasa's just staring at Lex now. And then looks at Razz. With the "what did you do" look on his face.
I didn't do anything. I don't. No, well, I didn't mean to do anything.
At which point Lex out of nowhere just says, "But why though?"
Why what?
And then looks at Arthur and goes, "Hey! Oh,
Hi.
I didn't notice you were back. Have I been
Hey.
spacing out too long?"
I don't know how long has it been, Raz.
It
What,
Rather
Razz?
than about 7 to 8 minutes of him just staring blankly off into space. About 2 of those are Arthur and Tsubasa have been in there.
About as long as you've been in here, she says, like a liar.
No deception check needed.
No deception check needed, but Tsubasa looks offended. Just, how could you? The "how could you" expression.
What's the point of that?
Longer than that. Lex is having a hard time.
Just,
I'm sure
I
you-
scared her, and she came in here to check up on me.
you scared Razz?
Yeah.
Did you have a talk with him?
I just wanted to know what he was doing. If he was doing. I mean, I'm sure you know.
I'm well aware.
Yeah.
It is
This morning.
an issue.
Yeah. This
No,
morning
it's
was
not. Just the biggest grin.
Razz jumping up for a second and just, like, not off the bed, but, like, up. It just goes, "You are worthy of love!"
She does that. Tsubasa just has the moment of
Without even reacting or even flinching, it's thank you for reiterating yourself. She's been doing this for the past like 5 minutes. She thinks I can't hear her. To Arthur.
You know, is it that odd to think that you didn't hear me?
I guess. What's it with you guys in trying to tell me things I already know anyway? Because I hear this all the time from my boss. Arthur, you know who the boss is.
Yes, that's the boss.
Tsubasa's just confused right now. He's standing in the background like BG3 character multiplayer.
Because you're not putting it into practice, Lex.
Putting what into practice?
Let's not. I want to get into this now.
Okay. I should probably go train though. I had a nap already. I did what you told me to do.
I think he
How
might have
exhausted
meant
are you?
longer.
Actually, how is your mana right now?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Can I help with that insight check?
Do you want to?
Yes.
Take advantage. When you mention mana, he suddenly looks very nervous. But he's still smiling. It's that kind of nervous smile that shifts from his plastered facade to everyone else to the faintest of twitches at the corner of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And his only response is, I'm pretty sure I can handle a couple of training drills, okay? Besides, don't you guys have to study too?
I mean, yeah, but
Unlike
That's a-
Arthur, I'm not a student here.
I think studying and training is a little bit different, though.
Actually, that's a good idea, Lex. Why don't you study with us? It's always fun to study.
Well, I already know most of the things that you're studying.
But you can
Even
study-
Completely
better.
over his head.
You can make flashcards for everybody.
Tsubasa just quietly holding his hand up and it's just like, I got some books on Dream Eaters. You could read those while we study.
Just the head tilts of, why are you so against making me, or letting me, train? I have my own exams, I think. Neither of you have mentioned anything about Sir Bedivere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Hey, can Lex roll insight on Tsubasa?
I mean,
Or someone?
It's up to you guys. What are you doing? I'm not going to do that right now.
I will say, Tsubasa does look visibly nervous. Just, oh. The realization nervous. Just, out of curiosity, who was your And he just sort of does the hand gesture, not sure to call if he should call this guy superior or not.
I mean, he did
Alright.
say boss.
What?
He did. He did say boss. However, you, Arthur, would know that boss and superior officer are two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tsubasa is specifically talking about the superior officer, not the boss.
The boss who refuses to act like a boss because he's so intense all the time. He doesn't turn it off anyway.
But yeah, no, Tsubasa does ask that. Just using a hand gesture for superior officer because he's not entirely sure on the terminology.
This is where I roll insight because Tsubasa is not from the Magic Kingdom or any of the training facilities, so wouldn't know the correct hand gesture for, hey, there's a superior officer walking nearby. Fuck off. Like,
Yeah, right now he's just doing like the height kind of gesture of progressively
that could
getting
mean
higher.
anybody.
Yeah, I know.
That could mean anybody.
He is desperately trying to figure out how to gesture this. Just like, okay, so is he like 1 above? Is he 2 above likes? How far above likes does he go? That's a nat fucking 20 though.
He kind of double takes at what you're trying to signal. Reaches out with like leaning forward and corrects your hand gesture as you're moving your hand. Not for height, because he seems to agree with that much, but rather letting you make the correct gesture for superior officer.
Yeah, Tsubasa does pause for a moment and looks at the hand gesture just like, yes, this person. Just,
What about him?
what was his name?
Because I have a feeling you don't mean His Majesty.
No, I don't. Just,
Which superior officer are you talking about? Mine?
Would
yes.
this be about Bedivere?
Oh, actually, kind of funny story about that. So,
He's not in his position anymore, is he? Deadpan.
Tsubasa just shakes his head, just, no, we overheard while we were out.
That would explain why I haven't gotten an alert on my comm unit, and reaches up behind his ear, where mostly anybody but Arthur wouldn't know is there, but a small comm unit that is connected by a very thin strand of wire. And just taps it and turns it off. So I probably won't be getting that for at least another week. Which means I'll probably be leaving right as lockdown lifts.
You'll be leaving?
Yeah, I haven't. Just because my superior officer is decommissioned doesn't mean I don't have my biannual test. You know, I have a psych eval I need to do, which is gonna be fun. Because now they know I'm a nobody. But I at least can stay.
That's good. That means that we can all just hang out and study together?
Make a persuasion check, anybody who wants to try and persuade him to actually sit there and study.
Lex,
Persuasion
indulge
22!
me.
What's that, Arthur?
Indulge me.
Tsubasa's doing the puppy dog eyes at Lex too. From just behind.
I would also like to roll if that's okay.
Kill me. I'm sorry. Arthur knew what he did. Alright.
But
He
yeah.
looks between everybody in the room and after being told indulge me, just blinks and goes, okay. I didn't think it was that important to all of you. At least for me to be here.
Well, you're her friend too, so why wouldn't we want you to be here?
He just has a puppy head tilt when you call him your friend. Like he doesn't understand what you're trying to tell him.
Tsubasa, mistaking the situation, just... Did I say something wrong, or...
He reaches out to you, Tsubasa, first, because out of everybody in the room, he starts to reach out to Tsubasa, and then seems to, past Arthur, catch just the glimpse of like massive fluffy hair and the glimpse of a pastel rainbow sheen, and then pulls his hand back as if he was about to touch fire. Look, I'll stay, okay? It's just, never mind. I don't think being rude this early in the morning is going to help anybody.
Would you at least like the Dream Eater books? You know, because you have a Dream Eater now, and...
So this is my Dream Eater. It's not Arthur's?
Aster said it was yours. Or for you, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay. You guys are weird. Weirder than Arthur. I'll admit that much. Okay, sure. Also, Helia, why are you hiding? Just past the doorway.
I didn't want to crowd the room.
Oh, it's fine. I'm used to crowded environments all the time. Just the brightest smile.
Good out here for the midtime.
Speaking of studying, we probably should get started on that, shouldn't we?
The sooner the better.
Oh, how long do we have until until the second term?
Midterms is right.
Okay, yeah. How long do we have until midterms again?
And Lex, without missing a beat, says, "Oh, you have about 4 days until the week starts."
Oh. I didn't
With the like brightest smile of someone of like, "Did I help?"
Tsubasa has been studying! He just didn't realize how close it was. Also, we have thoroughly lost Kuri.
Yeet.
And now he's back.
Hello.
My Discord just shut off out of nowhere after Lex, after it was said, with the brightest smile, my Discord just shut off.
Yeah, Lex
'Cause he's
said, "Did
fucking
I
faking
help?"
it. Yeah, he's fucking
Yeah.
faking his smile, and you know it.
Yeah, Tsubasa's just staring at Lex like... I mean... The reminder's appreciated, but... I wish I didn't know it was just 4 days.
Well, you've been busy. Obviously. I've been keeping track of everything else in the background for you guys. You guys just never asked. You guys don't ask a lot of people around you, just the people you kinda... You know what? Again, I'm being rude. Sorry. Studying.
Do we want to move to a bigger area for studying first?
That's a good idea.
I'll follow suit. You guys go ahead.
Alright, someone's gonna have to move first. Tsubasa does linger for a moment and glances over at Lex and is just like, "Are you sure you're okay?"
Yeah. I'm alright.
Alright. I'll see you in a bit then. Follows Arthur out because I'm assuming Razz is staying behind.
Just the stare at Razz of, go get the other one. Go get the other one.
Go get the other one?
Yes. Aster?
Looks at his Dream Eater. Don't let him train. Goes. I think she leaves Junebug in here too with this.
Tsubasa stops by his
Order.
room long enough to grab books.
Can someone say something so I can hear?
Ah!
Okay, my audio just went a little bit robotic for a minute.
Okay.
Razz's last sentence sounded like a photocopier trying to have a stroke.
So dial up.
Somehow worse.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lex is going to look between the two animals that he's been saddled with and just... Okay. I see what they're doing. It's not gonna work. And then proceeds to pick up Junebug, who just... bird kind of melts. It's like in his hand because also warm. He also runs warm. And just sets the small bird on top of his head, like the very essence of the last evolution of Fuecoca. That energy. And then picks up the yeah, I forgot the name for a second.
Yeah, the firebird on that forehead. Yeah.
Yeah. And just picks up the Aura Lion Cub, who still does not have a name, and just walks out.
Tsubasa suddenly remembering he was going to give the Dream Eater books to Lex!
He seems to be a bit preoccupied with two small animals.
Tsubasa stops and just watches this for a moment. And
Just the most aggressive peep 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 of the chocobo chick. It's so delighted to be above everybody, but not really because Lex is tinier than everyone.
Junebug is like eye level with Tsubasa.
Yeah. Yeah. You are now talking to Bird.
Tsubasa just stares at Junebug for a moment before reaching over and just sort of gently patting a finger on its on her head. Just the pet.
Lance.
Yeah.
There is an aggressive kind of commotion in a delightful kind of way outside of your closed door. And for all intents and purposes, you have been trapping your boyfriend after he admitted to you that he nearly died. You kind of dragged it out of him in one way or another and kind of made him admit to it. And he's had that expression of, God damn it, I need to get up. Not because he's actively said he needs to, like, take a piss or anything, but he's definitely having the reaction of maybe coming here was a mistake, actually. Kind of reaction. Very. You want to know how this is gonna make you realize who Lance is dating? It's very younger Shane to Clemency.
Beautiful. I love it. Tsubasa.
That's a very specific way to reference that, but you know exactly what I mean. But anyway, Lance, what do? You do hear the commotion outside and a little ways away from your door.
Just quiet grumbling before koala wrapping from the boyfriend.
Did you forget his name?
No. Killian. I just referred to the boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
Okay.
Just, like, slightly half rolls, half clambers out of bed.
Killian goes to start to follow you. Do you stop
No.
him?
Rest, please. Wait. What day is it? And just checks the gummy phone. Oh shit. Exams are close.
Yeah, it's Thursday of the week before. He just grumbles while settling back into bed. Also, I don't know if you can hear it as Killian, like, starts to continue to talk with, like, drowsiness in his voice. There's a storm front rolling in, so you might not be able to get off world.
And it's fine. I've got everything and everyone I need right here.
That's very sweet. I was talking about Twilight Town. The cafes.
I can live without it. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
This sacrifice? The fuck are you talking about? It's like 4 days of raining. It happens every so often. You'll be fine. It's not a sacrifice, it's a waiting game. The fuck are you on about?
4 days. Exactly. That's a sacrifice.
Razz, you're hearing the distant grumbling of two people behind a closed door.
2 people.
Yeah.
Alright. No hesitation comes up. Back to the bam, 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 bam. Hello?
Who the fuck is it?
Who the fuck are you?
The
Oh,
police.
wait, Razz? Hold on.
No, she's already like trying to bust down the door. Is it unlocked?
I have a feeling Lance forgot to lock it this time accidentally.
Tsubasa skittering after Razz in a desperate attempt to stop her. Just, Razz, wait!
Emerging from the second door, just who was that? That wasn't Lance.
Relaxing
Razz.
back on the right side of the bed is a very, like, he's not a twink. I joke about this all the time. He's not a twink. He is built like a proper weightlifter. And he's tall. So he's generally well built, and he looks familiar to you, Razz, in that way of, like, you've seen a bunch of different upperclassmen and they all kind of blur together, kind of familiar.
Was he the one from the grudge match?
Yes.
Could she remember that? Or
If you remember that, yes.
I do, because I remember Rez was like, yeah, at the system.
If you remember that as the player, you're welcome to.
Okay. You!
Me?
What are you? Are you? Is this? She like puts her hands together. Like, are you like together?
No, he broke into my bedroom, snuck past everyone, decided to lay in my bed with me.
All right.
Yes.
Approaching, ready to fight.
No, wait.
He has not moved from his position, even though that he just immediately went, "Yep," at the assumption. Oh yes, pray tell, I have the wherewithal to be quiet, as if I have any sneaky aptitude or as a rogue. Please.
Listen, not all rogues are good at what they do.
You know what? That's fair. You got me there.
Is this like a new thing, or is it like
No, it's been going on for a while.
what?
Yeah. Some months now.
Okay. All right. So like, have you been? Is this just the? Have you been here?
No. I've been
Okay.
on a couple of missions recently. And he looks... Make an insight check.
Yeah.
Both of us are just.
No, not you, Lance. You know what he's talking about.
I believe in you. Oof.
His expression shifts slightly in that manner of things went wrong, but you don't know exactly how wrong.
Ooh. E. Capital E, in fact. Well, I'm sorry for wanting to kill you for a second. Ish.
No worries, a lot of people do. Even my own sister does.
Yeah, I remember that. She says
Gross.
kind of like, yeah. Anyways, I think we were gonna study. There was someone in here, and it wasn't Lance, and it's you. I know that now, but I didn't at first. But anyways, hi. I'm Razz.
He sits up straight as soon as you say steady, and he's just like, "Oh fuck, I'm a fourth year," and literally starts to bolt out of the room and like at fucking Mach speed. Just see it, gotta go.
Aww.
Just and like literally skids past with like finesse. Like straight up Arthur, you see this dude bolt out of the room, out of out of Lance's room, and he only comes to a stop with a skidding kind of sound that's almost cartoonish. And he's just like, "The fuck?" at you. You seem to have been recognized.
Pats Lance's shoulder. Nice.
Tsubasa's gone off to get Aster and, I mean, technically Iris, I guess? I don't know.
Oh, don't worry about Iris.
Okay.
I have something in plan for that.
Alright, yeah, Tsubasa's gone off to get Aster, and at this point, is there any indication that Aster is or is not in his room?
You can hear him talking to Iris.
Okay, yeah, so he's going to pause for a moment outside Iris's room and then just knocks on the door.
I think it's for you.
I don't think that's true. You're the one that has to study, and I overheard that.
Well,
She
study when I
says
want
as she
to.
is currently poring over her own study journal.
Study when I feel like it. Check, by the way.
Aster hears Tsubasa call out, just, Aster, are you in there?
Yeah.
Me and the others were going to go study together because midterms are next week. Do you want to come with us?
Sure, give me a second.
Okay.
Hey, Iris.
Mm-hmm.
Checkmate. And then he starts walking towards the door.
She looks down at what she was playing the game with you and goes, "No, you were playing the wrong side again."
What? You mean I stole these pieces for nothing? And he sets the pieces he stole on the floor down.
And she just giggles and fully turns back to what she's been working on, which looks like half studying and half an actual project.
Yeah. Esther gets to the door and Tsubasa just is staring for a moment because he heard that. He's just like, why did you steal chess pieces?
I didn't want to lose. Come on.
Okay,
By the way, everybody in the hallway is literally watching Killian bolt at incredible speeds with incredible finesse around everyone for a man who is quite tall. Like, I'm talking... Yes, he's like 6'3" when packing a body build. He is moving for someone who has the body density of a fucking train.
Tsubasa stares after him for a moment, just... I guess Killian has to go study too?
Oh, that's right. He came home with us. Weird.
Either way, do we want to go study in the kitchen? There should be enough space for us there.
Wait, what time is it?
What time is
You
it?
you guys left for meeting Mama Bedivere at like 6:30 in the morning, and it took you about 3 hours to and back total. So it's about almost 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
I can go to the forge later. Hey, friends and whatnot in this room. Anybody know when the forge closes?
Whatnot.
Lex has that reaction of, "It closes?"
Tsubasa is having the
don't know.
same reaction of, it closes?
Yeah, Helia's giving Aster this absolutely baffled look.
He looks back at you with someone who's like... You can know his soul is tired at this point, so he's probably not thinking fully.
How about we all go sit down? Because I'm assuming they'll be studying in the kitchen where all the comfy seats are.
You can. I do have to mention that while there is a purported storm front coming in, and there is also midterms starting next week for the group, I will not be lingering on that subject. You guys still can do other things in between studying, because I know how college kids study. I was a college kid.
Yeah, it's either I trained all day, equally practicing my free time and study, or fuck, it's tomorrow? Give
And
me those 3 books.
Tsubasa's already fucking, like, he even after giving Lex the Dream Eater books, he probably still has, like, 4, maybe 5 of his own books.
I will say, a couple of you did want to do other things before I mentioned that there were midterms. Do you still want to do those? Specifically, Helia and Arthur.
I wanted. Yeah.
Did you forget
I-
what you wanted to do?
No, I remember.
I missed the middle section of that statement, Ren. Could you repeat yourself, please?
Do you still want to do what you wanted to do when we first discussed this session?
Yeah.
Okay. Which of you would like to go first?
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. So you're headed to see your ranger teacher?
Yeah.
Do you leave immediately to go see her, or do you study a little bit?
Study a little bit, then go.
Okay. So, for all intents and purposes, you study for an hour, let's say. And then it occurs to you, you should probably check in with Syra, who has been trying to give you updates and has apologized every single time for basically saying, I have nothing. Because, as she put it, the investigation is still ongoing. But you do happen to find her at the battle arena on campus, and it is particularly... It is storming out where she is. And she doesn't seem perturbed by it. If anything, she seems more in her element than before. Kind of used to the prospect of danger that alludes to. I'll let you place your token in a moment here. But she is more or less by herself. Do you approach?
Inquiry, am I supposed to be seeing a different map?
I'm asking you ahead of time while I give you your ability to move.
Yeah, probably.
It is storming, yes, but you know it is still daytime because it doesn't take that long to get to the battle arena. And she seems to be sitting on the ground restringing one of her bows. And it's a straight up bow, it's not a keyblade, or you at least think it isn't, because that would mean she's retuning something that just needs to go to the forge. But you of all people understand that sometimes it's best handled with hands that know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
Just start shuffling closer. Not being sneaky in the slightest.
Is Marigold still in your hair?
Probably.
I'm not putting the baby on the board because this is probably going to be certainly a scene. But there is a snuffling, sniffing, like around your hair. Just
Baby.
sniff, sniff, sniff.
Baby.
And apparently, hearing more of the shuffling around in your hair more than hearing the shuffling of your footsteps, without looking up, she goes, "Didn't think I'd be getting company this soon. How can I help you, kid?"
Just coming to check in, I guess.
Same as usual?
Kinda.
After a pause, she sighs. I ain't got much. It's kind of tough to find someone who I think doesn't want to be found. But Zeno said in brief passing, might have seen him on another world. We were looking for all the kids. All the ones that disappeared or maybe got taken. But Zeno saw him, or what he believed to be him, leading into an alleyway on one of the worlds and poof, disappeared. So we're not sure if we saw Valkyr or not.
I saw him on Port Royal.
That is the point where she looks up, stopping the restringing of her bow. You what?
I saw him on Port Royal.
She stands up and kind of tucks the bow behind her, less stringing it across her front, and you realize it is a magical weapon by the way it just kind of hangs behind her or clips onto something. And she steps forward. Sweetie, what do you mean?
I mean, I saw him.
Was he okay?
I don't know. But he didn't say much or really anything at all. What he did say didn't really make sense, and then he ran away.
Well, what did he say?
That he's sorry we're on different sides now, and that he can't talk because someone would kill him, and I don't know what else.
Do you acquiesce to your teacher trying to give you a hug?
Yeah.
She, at first hesitantly not sure if you're okay with it, but once you almost deflate into her hold, she holds you close, and though you have only known Auntie as a parental figure, this you think might get close enough to being a mother, the hold of a mother.
Laugh softly.
I'm so sorry, kiddo. If I could help, I would. But I don't know where to start. If those kids are in danger, I will exhaust no opportunity, no wasted resources to get them home. You know that.
Yeah. Something happened to him. I think probably the night he went missing. He's different now.
Yeah, Zeno said the same thing. He looked gloom touched.
I don't know, maybe.
Zeno said it was a rare case of cross affliction, where both Soulless and Gloom affect the same person. But that was only a guesstimate of what had happened. He didn't want to make assumptions without asking in detail, and, well, he followed who he thought was Valkyr into an alleyway, and nothing. As if he was never there to begin with.
Kind of disappeared into blackness when he ran away from us. I don't know how it works, but he was just gone.
We'll find him, okay? Or he'll find us. And she looks up overhead, seeming to watch the rapidly darkening skies, and goes, I think you should be heading back. I know it's going to be a rough couple of days. But we'll go back into the field. We'll try and find him. I can't promise nothing, but I'll try. You know that.
I do.
And she pulls away from you slightly and wipes away a couple of the stray tears. Come on. I'll walk you back to your dorms.
Okay.
And she starts to lead you back. Do you have any questions for her?
What do you mean?
Do you ask about specifics? Do you ask what Xenos might know, or where he might be, or something like that, so you can get more information?
That would probably be something she would ask, yeah.
Which one?
Yes.
Nope, pick one.
My
love?
Love you too.
Mm.
Probably about what Xenos saw to start with.
When you ask what he saw, she hesitates in her normally steady footfalls. Well, according to what he said, he ran onto Valkyr's trail when he was looking for Persephone. They apparently ended up in the same spot, but not as if they were playing tag. Like a relay race of some kind. Xenos said it looked like a sort of code. One not even he, as someone who talks a lot to rogues, understood. Even our local rogue teacher couldn't decipher it, and he's very good at that. But it was, I think, on Enchanted Dominion. Roll a history check.
Whee!
When she says Enchanted Dominion, with a 21, you remember that Enchanted Dominion, though looks very scary, has not seen the touch of Maleficent in a very long time. So for him to be there, it doesn't quite click. Nothing gives away why he would be there, why he would be running this relay race, this code, this game of tag with maybe Persephone. And then it registers to you Persephone. That's Lance's old roommate. Why would they be in the same area at the same time and not talk to each other directly?
Oh, that's weird, right?
Do you say that process aloud?
Yeah.
Your teacher stops about 15 feet away from your dorm because it took a little while to get you back, and you had been gesticulating and thinking and using your hands to talk for a little while. And she hadn't stopped you. She figured you would stop when you felt uncomfortable, and the soft smile on her face tells you that she's glad you think she's comfortable enough to talk like that around.
Wow.
And she kneels down closer to your height. Whatever the case is, I'll keep it in mind. If those two are in league with each other, and they just want to come home, we'll bring them home. But don't count on it soon, okay?
I know.
Take care of yourself, kiddo.
I'm trying.
If not, and she seems to lock eyes with Marigold, though you can't see Marigold, I'm going to take you as the little prisoner of not doing your job. And it's just like the squeak, 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 squeak. The
I
indignant
just got
squeaking.
Mary. Be nice to her.
Ah, so you've already named her. She seems to like the name.
Mhm.
Go on in. I'll
Okay.
talk to you when I have more information.
Okay.
And you head inside with new information about Valkyr and now Persephone that you can hand off to Lance. Now, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Would you like to do a very silly scene before we get to Arthur's other scene? Because I'm gonna drag you motherfuckers on a roller coaster ride of nostalgia.
I'll do that.
For the main group of KH.
Agree to this.
Hey, Kuri.
Bring it.
Fuck you, ragdolls you into the forge. So,
You didn't know. Hold on. Had a delay, fixed it, but I want you to know that cutoff was in person as well. That
good. So, who would you ask to go with you to the forge? Because it's not hidden information where the main forge is.
I will respond to that question with: do I have to ask one of the students? Like one of my
Yes.
friends?
Yes.
Tsubasa.
Okay.
Tsubasa, do you acquiesce?
Do I what?
Do you acquiesce? Do you go with him?
Yes.
Do you say yes?
No, acquiesce was a little muddled the first time you said it.
Understandable.
But yes, I acquiesce.
So, even with the storm front overhead and you guys with the looming threat of the midterms, Aster doesn't seem all that bothered. If anything, he looks a little bit tired, but that tiredness seems to run deep into his soul at the moment. And Aster, you recall differing information on what could possibly await you at the main forge. The little tinier forges where artificers learn how to use the forge, you know, kind of big boys versus little boys playpen kind of energy.
Okay.
And you're not sure who's going to be there, but it could be one of two people. And you're hoping for the more reasonable one of them. And for you, Kuri, who knows the two people who's going to be here, That describes neither of them.
Yeah, is there a third person you haven't told me about? Mad Mickey and Grayson Highwind reasonable? Fatherly and maybe responsible, but reasonable?
Please. So, as the storm starts to take more and more of a hold as you walk across the sector that you're currently in, because your sector is in the middle of the world. Like, if we're talking a globe situation, it would be the first thing that you see on the world map, like your direct center. And you walk in. Let me double check that you can move. You walk in first, Aster. However, you stop outside because you hear bickering of two people. Motherfucker, go home. I've got it.
Little boy, you listen to me right now. I said no.
Little boy, I'm
Yes.
fucking older than you.
I
At
ain't
least I
talking
look
about
older than
age.
you.
I ain't talking about age. Tiny?
I ain't tiny either. God damn.
Don't you curse in front of me now.
I'm the one working the forge today. Go home, Grayson.
I can work the forge. Don't you worry about me. Damn. Also, you cannot work the forge alone. Boy, last time you tried to do that, you ended up in Viv's bed, and God almighty, I didn't hear the end of it.
Well, that is something that you have to take up with her. Not me. I didn't ask for that.
I don't think someone asks for exhaustion.
Kind of. And then that person who is about 6'3", kind of lanky build with like kind of a slender swimmer's build rather than someone who would actively be working at a forge more than maintaining what's already there. And it looks utterly fucking exhausted, like has tied back semi-greasy hair that is white and like the kind of salt and pepper tone, and it has heavy, sturdy, but looks like it hasn't been properly maintained as much as the forge has been kind of outfit with dual-toned eyes, one brown, one gold, and just looks over towards the entrance and reaches out and smacks Grayson on the chest. Just stop it, stop, quit it.
Look at me.
What?
Don't you fuck up and don't you hurt yourself, goddammit. Because if you get hurt, it's on my ass.
It's on nobody's ass. Get out of here.
He has a giant fucking wrench. What are we gonna do, huh? It deflects bombs.
That's between you and the killer of God. You need to get out of here before I kick your ass out with magic. Get out of here.
You have to kick my ass out and is like mid-sentence. I feel like he's taken away by magic.
Literally, no, you don't understand. It's literally just spiritual weapon as a boot and getting his ass out of there.
The world's largest mage hand. Hey. Bonk.
Yawn.
I still have control over that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way it flew off my screen for me because of how I have it positioned.
Hey. Bonk.
Meow. Tsubasa's just
And
watching
then-
this happen and then looks up at Asterisk just like, is this normal for the Forge?
I don't know.
Yes. Can I help you?
Hold on. I got a question for you, sir.
Yep.
would you happen to be a Saitos?
What's it to you?
Professor tells me to introduce myself as Fuck Off Buttercup.
I see.
There's an audible snort of just, yeah, one of the youngest, I take it. Come in, come in.
Do we need to worry about that weird cowboy grandpa?
Just the biggest fucking grin. Yeah, worry about the grandpa. He's gonna get his knees rocked in a moment here.
Why?
I think his ass got rocked. Wasn't that not a giant boot?
Speaking of the giant boot, it is still there. And this 6'3" slender built motherfucker is leaning against it with like the attitude of someone who won an argument for like all of 5 minutes because he caught someone off guard. No charisma in this is not a charisma build caster here.
He turns to Tsubasa and, like, not in his quietest voice, because Tsubasa's not close enough. I don't think this guy wins arguments often.
Hey! You're here for something. What do you want?
Oh, yeah, this. And he summons his original Keyblade, which had some leeway hand-wise before, but now it's just, like, tight fit now. What was probably could be mistaken for a proper short sword on a short body, it's Goliath holding a short sword.
And just steps onto what otherwise looked like you'd fall directly into lava. Now looks like such clear crystal glass that it's probably reinforced 6 ways to Sunday. And he waves his hand into... Jesus. I argue with myself for like half a second. People are thinking I'm insane.
Out of context, though.
Yeah. So he waves his hand, and the spiritual weapon, the spiritual boot of destiny, disappears. And he reaches up to where you otherwise from a distance couldn't see the goggles that were seated on top of an impressive mane of hair that is tied back, and puts it on. And both of you roll history.
Okay.
Hey, I
have
got a
faith in this.
17.
Yeah, both of you instantly recognize as he puts on his goggles that have an odd little symbol on the side of them that you don't recognize with anything less than a 20 in history. This is Mad Mikhail, or otherwise known as Mad Mikey. An architect and artisan of many different forges across many different worlds, revered for his ability to create the perfect Keyblade no matter what, without fail every time. And just adjusts the little lenses that you see twist and turn and block onto something. Well, damn. What'd you do? Perfectly good Keyblade you fucked up.
I ate my Wheaties. Sorry, I've been told to be sassy with you.
Don't listen to Aaron. Aaron's
like-
default state of being is to be sassy with everybody.
Aaron's the bar teacher,
I like
yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
Tsubasa,
it's Aaron.
Tsubasa suddenly just looks exhausted. He's my teacher.
I like Aaron and their girlfriend. Their girlfriend's fun too. I should have listened to the girlfriend though. Probably wouldn't have this issue if I did.
You mean Gwen?
Yeah.
No, Gwen's got her own issues.
Are they okay?
I mean, I think they're planning for a wedding. or something. I don't know. I don't know if they've talked about it, but that's between me and God at this rate. Anyway, turns and starts walking back to the where it's a more decorative anvil than anything else.
Can
It looked like a fucking table that was shaped in the form of an anvil.
Can I do an insight or a history check to see if Tsubasa remembers what Gwen had been working on when he had met her the last couple of times?
Go ahead.
History is one of my worst, but here we go! Another 17!
You were too busy wrapped up in your own like mentality to actually ask her or look at what she was doing, whether it was because she is a higher up or you just simply respected her too much to pry into her personal business.
Or
But they
both.
did look like official papers.
Yeah.
Whether they were official for you or official for her, you don't know.
Yeah, no, he does take a moment to think, and when he realizes he can't remember, he just shrugs and watches Aster and Zach. He's there for emotional support, I think.
So what you want, kiddo?
A new form, or keyblade, I guess. This one I can't exactly get rid of, and I don't think it's going to be changing anytime soon, so I thought a second blade might be helpful. And as he's talking, he takes off the keychain from the blade itself and starts making it into like sort of like a bracelet design.
Well, what materials did you bring?
So I really shouldn't listen to Aaron. I was not told I was supposed to bring materials.
Well, Aaron kind of has their own keyblade, and doesn't use it for that matter. So no.
I didn't know we needed to bring materials.
Yeah. The only reason you don't know about it, and he reaches out with like a lanky sort of arm and just taps you on the forehead, because it's only something fourth years can do.
Get these materials. And even after being tapped on the head, just walks closer.
What sort of materials?
Oh, you know, proper base keychain, something you'd like to put into it. You'd also need to find the mage that ran off. Hopefully not the one that I punched in the fucking snout. The fucking
on.
Tsubasa
dog.
has 2 keychain bases, so he pulls one out and just sort of holds it out towards Zach. He's just like, you mean like one of these?
Did Curry say he had to be right back?
No, if I said something, it was vocal something or other. I didn't mean to talk at all.
Okay. So as soon as Tsubasa holds out a base keychain, Mad Mikey just grins with the sort of, for lack of a better term, high wind craze.
The most decent, the most distant. Yeehaw.
Tsubasa's watching this and he starts just doing the chattering thing of nervous of just like, I've got 2 of them and I think I've got crystals too.
Ooh, so you are prepared. Now you just need to go find my runaway mage. And don't bring back the pink-haired one. I will actively get into a fight in this fucking place and throw lava in his face again.
Question.
Yeah.
Does it have to be the maid? What's the mage like? What's the name? Do we know them? Are they
You
a teacher?
probably don't. Because they're fourth years only. Remember? Well, how would you know?
I'm a herald. I end up being around a lot of people during meetings by accident. I also used to have serious anxiety, so I didn't make too much noise. Starting to think back. Was I a weirdo?
You're gonna want the blue-haired one. They're a knight.
Okay.
Loves being around fire.
Do you know where we could
Last
find them?
scene.
And just at the both of you talking, just looks up towards the ceiling for a moment, which it's really high ceilings. Like the forge itself takes up half of the total height in the back of the area, which is about 30 feet high, so it's about 60 to 65 feet in total height. So you're in a big room. So it's echoing quite a bit, even with the distant storm.
Master looks up too.
I mean, if you call him by his name, he'll inevitably show up. It's kind of like a fucking curse. But
What's his name?
Peter,
Tsubasa does take a moment to look around.
We had the same idea. Just like looks around. Did that work?
no, he won't come when I call him because he's too busy trying to flirt with two different people.
Full name, please.
No. Go have fun finding him. He has blue hair and probably doesn't understand what a pronoun is.
Okay.
He turns around and just goes, Peter, who doesn't know what a pronoun is.
Why do I feel like that would get his attention immediately? I'm just like, no, fuck you. I know what it is. You're an asshole. Because it's Peter. You know exactly which one.
Oh.
But that's the silly thing I wanted to do. We can get back to this because that's. I have a feeling he absolutely would have the reaction of, oh no, fuck you. I know what a pronoun is. Oh yeah, then explain it. I don't gotta explain myself to you. Like.
You gotta treat a woman like you treat a car. Go on. No. I sense I've made a mistake.
Sure. I'm glad we had the same thought. But no, how do you explain needing to find Peter to Mad Mikey?
He kind of looks at Tsubasa. Do you mind waiting closer to the entrance?
Yeah, I can do that. Because it's not hard to figure out. Tense things. Skitter's back.
Walks, takes a step over the glass, and then just starts walking on it, not wanting to step off it just yet. Towards the tools. You know about Caesar Harold? Or
Nope.
one of the... Good.
Just the most
Good.
delighted. Nope.
He was somebody related to Master Harold. He had a boyfriend.
Oh, good
They
for
snuck
him.
out. Yeah, they snuck out when they weren't supposed to. And both of them died.
I wish I had my boyfriend still, huh?
They both died.
You don't understand. You're talking to Zach.
Yeah, no, hold on. I have the image of like Aster's like, I don't. These are where my parents died. That was bummer.
Cowabunga.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
they died.
Oh, that sucks.
And when their heartless and nobodies were Caesar's heart and his nobody split. His heart went
mean,
to his
yeah.
boyfriend. His heart went to his boyfriend's body. But his boyfriend's heart went into mine.
Okay. Not the weirdest thing I've heard.
I didn't think it would, considering I was supposed to introduce myself as fuck off Buttercup.
By the way, if you say that to any of my other siblings, only say it to Luca.
Got it. I don't know who Luca is, but I imagine it's somebody.
Roll
I
history.
can- Stop making me roll this guy. Nope.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but in a way of like, yeah, that's a pretty common name. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But Zach is just grinning. He doesn't seem perturbed in the slightest.
Aster summons the Keyblade and takes it off his wrist, summons it, and puts it on the table. This doesn't feel like mine.
Well, yeah, I know. Why would it?
To be fair, a lot of my memories didn't even feel like mine, and turns out, spoiler, they weren't. Except for probably the worst memory I have in my head.
You need therapy, kid. Go
I
get some of
tr-
that.
Have you seen the school therapist? He doesn't exactly make himself available.
Which one? Oh,
Oh
you're
my
talking about him. Yeah, he's the head like physician sort of thing. He's like the big boss of all of the therapists on campus. I'd just find another one.
You're telling me I could have found a proper fucking therapist that didn't run away from the kids he's supposed to be helping?
He doesn't run away. That's a weird way to put it. He just makes sure you're not going to also run away. So kinda.
Great. Anything else I should know that's gonna fuck with me later on or right now?
If you see the pink-haired motherfucker, punch him in the dick for me. That one, you can absolutely say is from me, because he'll know.
I put that in my actual notes. I hope you realize this.
Good. You know who that
Okay.
is.
No, I know. Shush. What materials will we need to craft a Keyblade at all?
Like I said
Outside of the
earlier.
outside of the mage and outside of the, blank keychain.
I have to list it properly. It's part of my job.
No.
You need the technician. He points to himself. And then after a moment, gestures to where Grayson was flung. You need a technician. You need a mage. And you need an armorer. Then you need the base keychain, or a keychain you're willing to sacrifice. Because it will not be the same when you get it out. You also need to have full mana, because it will be a drain. And optionally so, listen to me, optionally, you can bring something to the table such as a crystal or an item or something of that nature that helps bolster chance to get something special. I've
Okay.
perfected the technique, but it doesn't always work for other people. Zach, shut up. Sorry, that was literally just me at what he wanted to say.
No, say it.
No, because he wanted to do a dumb gay thing. I'm not letting him
Okay.
fall into stereotypes. No, he is a walking stereotype. He wanted to say it's just a flick of the wrist.
Of course.
Naturally. A walking stereotype. Anyway.
Yeah. So, base keychain, full mana. If I feel like it, a crystal or something.
Yes.
And lastly,
And lastly, don't bring negativity into something you're trying to get positive energy out of. That sounds obvious. Don't. It will fuck up your Keyblade. You do know what a Keyblade represents, don't you?
know the base definition, but I've learned I don't know enough.
It represents possibility. You get what you give. Now get out of here. It's gonna start fucking storming and I'm gonna get lectured by Grayson. Go the fuck home, bastard! Looking directly at where Gray is probably trudging in, slightly down.
He's climbing in through the hole he was kicked out of. Fuck you!
Tsubasa's watching this happen is just like, are you okay, sir?
He will take a moment. Aster will take a moment and just he'll walk to Mad Mikey with his back turned to Tsubasa, reach inside his jacket and pull out his mom's aster flower. Hold on to this. I'll be back with the things we need.
Okay. And gently takes it from you.
Be careful.
Hold on. No, wait. Does Tsubasa actually do that?
Yes.
So,
Not
you wanna-
loudly, but he does it.
No. You're in a room with that is hollowed out to where a point that even a small call will be resonated.
Even if he's facing out the entrance?
Yes, you're
That's
still
not how
standing in
acoustics
the.
work!
That is how acoustics work when you're still standing in the room.
Most of it would still go outside!
Fine, I'll give you that much. So you do this quietly. How do you call for Peter? A man you don't know.
He's just curious if saying Peter's name will actually summon him, and he's just like glancing around before calling out the door, but just quietly, Peter?
I can't believe I've effectively Betelgeist this motherfucker.
What?
Betelgeist.
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
What?
It's Beetlejuice.
It's Beetlejuice. In the actual media, in the movie and everything, it's Beetlejuice.
Yes, I'm aware. Betelgeist is the actual term for the horror show.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual horror show?
Yeah, Beetlejuice is an actual, thing.
Yeah, I know. I know that there is the star Beetlejuice, and then there's Beetlejuice, the fucking character.
Okay.
Anyway.
They're spelled differently.
Regardless, Gray is trudging back in after being kicked out into the rain like a sad puppy.
Looking like the angriest Doberman.
The sopping wet Doberman. Fuck you, he's now more than damp. He is now sopping wet because he's being a pathetic little meow meow. I'm gonna get killed by Kuri.
This is acceptable.
For a second, Zach does look a little concerned. Ah, shit. You good? Gray?
Takes a step closer, hat off, flicks it a bit, and in one of the flicks it is no longer in his hand.
Ah, shit.
Looks directly at him, raises his hand like he's about to slap somebody, and by the time he blinks back in, right on the back of Zach's head.
Yeah. Don't tell Viv.
Fuck you. Oh, hey, by the way, we're gonna need to fix that before she gets back.
Yeah, probably. You two go on, get out of here before someone shows up.
Thumbs up. Again, be careful. Psychopath with a stupid name might show up.
As Aster gets closer, Tsubasa does look over and is just like, we're good now? You're good?
Maybe. Who knows?
We should... Out of character, are we actually going to go look for Peter? Or is that...
Fully.
What?
I say fully.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like... Should we at least get like an umbrella or something?
Aster takes his jacket off and puts it over Tsubasa's head. I'll be fine.
Oh, okay. He just holds on to the jacket as he follows after Aster because jacket can't fall off. That would defeat the purpose. Off we go to find Peter.
I have a question for you, Kuri.
What's up?
Do you still have Rhiannon's token? At least for now. Until he makes something a little better. Uh-huh.
Which one?
One that looks younger.
Yes.
I need it.
Okay.
I should have asked for this earlier, but I wanted to keep it a slight secret.
Understand.
I've already sent it in our DMs. You could have looked it up.
Shush.
There you go.
So, Arthur,
Yes.
after about 2 to 3 hours and the storm overhead as you're listening to it is mostly just drizzling rain, it occurs to you there is someone, though a little tense to get along with sometimes. There is someone who you could seek out for information about everything that's been happening, being the gossip queen that she is. And she's kind of an old friend. Not really. You wouldn't call her a friend just yet, and neither would she to you. But you're at least business acquaintances. She'd probably at least say that. And you know exactly where she is at this time of day. And even if she should be somewhere safer and not encased in a death box of glass, you know she's at the arcade. Do you head to the arcade?
Yes.
So, you show up at the arcade with the intent to, like, at first it's get information, and then you realize it's already becoming an absolute death-defying spectacle to try and get out of Lex's sight without him giving you the most pathetic little, like, look of, do you need me to come with you? Which you probably said, no, I've got it. Which, with him surrounded both by people trying to get his attention as well as animals that are trapping him, you know damn well he's not moving. He's much like you in that regard of if he moves when a small animal or a small child is trying to get his attention, he goes straight to hell. That being said... What's up?
Only hell if you let it be.
You know what? That's fair. But you do end up at the arcade where it is mostly manned automatically at this point, with people not exactly trusting personnel at the time being. But you do hear, like, not scuttling, more skittering about. And you hear the distant call of who you recognize to be not Rihanna, but her girlfriend, affectionately named Bubbles. For not her bubbly personality, but you of all people understand she's quite deadly with water magic. And it is still storming, so it's hard to hear past the giggles. Do you enter?
Yes.
You're free to enter. There's a sharp gasp of, "It's the Princey!" and just rushes off. "Hi! It's been a while!" And Bubbles is kind of a ditzy blonde off the battlefield, but honestly is one of the nicest people you've ever met, and though you don't normally make the commentary, you do unintentionally tease Rihanna about how did you manage this? Because that is quite possibly her version of Lex. At which point, Rihanna, from around the bend, leans against the side of one of the toy and prize counters and goes, "Hey, what brings you to the arcade? It's storming out."
Just came here looking for you to ask some questions.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what? You know I run a prize. And then after, I have a feeling the noises of discomfort are because you are actively being held in a, like, happy hug from a barbarian. And just, she twirls you around a little bit in that sense of being really happy to see you, and then realizes, oh, you are smaller than me, and she is about 6 foot. And she sets you down, pats you on the head, and walks back over to Rihanna, who looks fond for a moment and then looks back at you. What do you need?
You know, like I said, like a few I don't know if I should say this here.
Well, there's nobody else here right now.
Yeah, you're right. But, you never know who's listening.
What's got you all paranoid?
I mean, you know that me and a group of people got into some stuff recently, right?
Naturally.
Right.
What about it?
We're just. I mean, at this point, we're just poking around some places. Some very interesting places.
You get in trouble? Never. And she rolls her eyes.
Touche. What's the question I should ask?
You do know that for things she considers small to medium, she runs about 100 money, which for the Magic Kingdom is pocket change, but for students, that's like half a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
For larger things, it's about 200. So she's basically hustling the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. I don't know.
You do know she's basically queen of gossip. Things that are rumors, things that basically get said offhand, things that might not even be true but have some measure of fact in them, she's heard. So even the strangest of things wouldn't sound strange to her. She's essentially got one hand in a Hello Kitty skate and the other one in the underworld.
You know what? Fuck it. We've just been researching a place called Scott Island. Was heard?
I was heard.
Okay, cool.
She doesn't seem to recognize what you're talking about. Like, she recognizes it in the way that a student that has been taught about the name would, not anything else. She does look interested now, though. Do you need someone to go out and collect information? She outright says.
No, I can do that. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you don't seem to be doing very well.
No.
You know I've got my hands everywhere.
Yeah.
And she actively summons from her own shadow a couple of pairs of hands that look as detailed and finery as hers.
Now that I think about it, I don't think there's anything that could pertain to my situation.
What makes you say that?
So,
What situation did you get into this time?
what's the word? Beyond comp. No, not. That's way too far. Cosmic.
Are you saying fuck you to the universe or something?
I mean, I did, but that's besides the point.
She raises an eyebrow at you when you say I did, but that's not the point.
It's changed my fate a little bit.
You know fate's a bunch of horse shit.
I mean, to me it is now, I guess.
Right, so what are you looking into?
Do you know any oddities that have happened recently?
Nope.
Damn.
Everything's been fine recently. Why? Aside from you guys.
Seems like something really big's been happening and is starting to go into effect now.
It's at that point that Bubbles speaks up, who has been quiet this entire time, as she normally is whenever you two are discussing terms, conditions, things you need, things you don't, that sort of business formal arrangement. And she, with a very nice nail that has clearly been gone to the spa and stuff like that. No paint, just manicured and whatnot. Just taps the side of her jaw and goes, well, I mean, I remember a thing that happened recently that I don't think anybody else caught on to.
Bubbles?
Mm-hmm. She, even though Rihanna goes, hold on, wait, we have to charge for this. She bounds over to you with that same energetic atmosphere and goes, yeah, there was something going on, I think, a couple days ago at some old shrine. Apparently some guy was talking about trying to fix his mistakes. And then, apparently, that's when everybody saw Mr. Gloom touched over there. The guy who stopped the dragon disappear into the distant catacombs of, his workshop. Or a workshop.
It is very interesting. Thank you for this information, Bubbles. I really appreciate it.
Just the distant groan of Rihanna, just, God damn it, kind of energy. At which point, her girlfriend, absolutely just goes, did I help?
Ask me?
She seems to be asking openly in that way that someone who's a little bit on the ditzier side doesn't realize that they interrupted anything.
You were very helpful to me.
Good! We're friends now, right?
Yeah.
She seems delighted by that prospect, however, Anna just Ben Affleck smoking me.
Aren't we?
Yeah, get out of here. I'll look into it a little bit more.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. Discounted price next time, thanks to my girlfriend.
I'm also going to apologize beforehand if anything happens.
What?
What?
At which point you can absolutely leave. Just that what?
You know, like I said, things are happening now. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I can take care of myself, and if I can't, well, that's why Bubbles is here.
100%
Then-
sure you can.
At which point Bubbles does a flexing motion with both arms, and she's well built. She's well built. Like, definitely peak physical state for a barbarian. And just, absolutely, I can take care of her just fine. and then winks at you.
Man, you really remind me of Flex.
Yeah, how is he, by the way?
Uh, better.
Did something happen?
Yes.
Well, that's not good. You should rest. Better for a peak physical condition, as well as a mental one, to get as
Damn
much rest
right.
as you can. A solemn nod of, absolutely, I have said a good thing.
You have.
Tala! The power of lesbians and the blonde chick who doesn't know what to say, whatever. That's just another lesbian, never mind. And
Lesbian squared.
so yeah, Arthur, you're welcome to leave if you'd like.
Actually,
Or
we
you could
well,
you could stay and ask a...
I was not a
What?
question. Just gonna be like, hey, we should just like hang out sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Doesn't that sound nice, Riri? And then just don't.
Yes, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Sounds nice.
Alright, I'll catch you guys later.
Don't die.
Definitely not part of the plan.
And Bubbles just waves excitedly. Just take care of you and Lex. I know he stresses himself out.
I will do my best.
So, do you head back to the dorm?
Yes, time to study.
Tsubasa.
Okay, yes.
Did I catch you off guard?
Yeah, and the way that I have to mute myself both in the Discord and the OBS because the muting on my actual mic does not work properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to scramble to unmute both of them. Because I wasn't on either of those windows. I'm good now, though.
Tsubasa.
Yes.
It is storming out. By the time that you and Aster decide to head back, it is full stop storming. And for some reason, you pause right outside of the dorms. You pause. And it's a long enough pause that Aster rushes inside with complaints about getting his new outfit wet. That he doesn't have a backup aside from the, dad pajamas.
Yeah.
And you pause. You don't know why you pause, but you get the feeling you're being watched. Do you turn around?
Yeah.
Make a perception check with advantage.
Percepi with advantage. 22.
You realize pretty quickly that, yeah, you are being watched, but it's not a bad type of being watched. It's the feeling of being watched by a friend while you're climbing up a tall building. Like, the kind of worried, askance type of feeling that, yeah, you can't see them, they're probably around the bend, but they're there. And it feels like familiar type of look. The nervous energy is palpable.
It's Valkyrie, isn't it?
Do you call out that name?
Yeah, Tsubasa pauses for a moment before he goes, Valkyr?
There's the sound of heavy footfalls, not like someone is running, but rather steel-toed boots against pavement in walking pace. As you see the end of a tail in gradient light hue curling out of an alleyway and basically beckoning you to follow after underneath a cloak. Do you follow?
He does hesitate for a moment, and he looks back to see if anybody had come out to check on him before he goes to follow towards the alley.
You even Aster is a little too late by the time you get to the alleyway. Because you take a couple of steps and that's all it takes. And it's like you're transported from one zone of the campus to another within the blink of an eye, as if you're teleported through shadows themselves. And with it being overcast and dreary and shadowed everywhere, you feel like you could have gone across the entire campus, across the entire academy world in the blink of an eye if it wasn't for the fact that you're in a clearing. And Valkyr is standing there. He has his back to you, and you only know it's Valkyr for the sole purpose of there's a sort of half bracelet, half horn jewelry curled around one of his horns that ends in a light gradient hue, but his hair is no longer brown, it is a full stark white. It even covers one side of his face, long enough to drape past his chin, some of it braided, some of it not, most of it tied back, but it looks as if he's hiding. Even the cloak that he's wearing is a stark black, which is hard to see in the fading light of the sun. How are you guys?
We've been doing all right, I guess. After we got back to the academy with the lockdown, midterms are coming up soon. So we've all,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wish you guys the best of luck on that one. I've got different tests I've got to take.
Do you know any more about what happened to you?
I know a lot, and I know nothing at all. It's what I'm looking into. He looks up at the storm overhead, and there's a crash of distant lightning filtering through the clouds that lights up his face, and as he's turned slightly towards you, you see a sort of healed over gash mark across his face. Not lethal, but definitely damaging enough that if he would have sought help, it would have taken a while. Even just to heal, let alone seeking out the right person in his new state. And you remember that feeling of fear when you weren't yourself anymore, even if you had a kinder presence leading you through it. You remember the feeling of not being yourself, and how scary it was.
You know you can come back, right?
He slowly shakes his head. I can't. Not yet. You guys should stay here. It's safe here. They can't find you on the Academy world. I learned that the hard way. They can't see you.
Who can't see us?
Them. The ones behind the scenes. I can't even say it's just Queen, not with what I know. And I can't tell you either, and I'm sorry. But know that for every ally you make, they gain too. It's an uphill battle, and I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault, Valkyr.
It feels like a lot of things do.
I know. I know that all too well. We're supposed to meet with Queen, though.
Yeah, I'm the one who delivered that letter.
Ah. Out of character.
I don't fight, you know?
Yeah. I'm hoping that doesn't change. Because I don't want to have to fight you, you know?
I hope so too. And he takes a couple of, long strides forward. He's always been a tall, lanky individual. But over the past few months, you're starting to realize that everybody has been changing for the better or for the worse. Because what was a lanky individual, you see flashes under the cape and flashes under essentially what clothes should hide a normally lanky form. And he's stronger. He shows more muscle, more density. He looks as if he could take a hit as well as deal one. Tsubasa?
Yeah?
He reaches up to the horn that has the bracelet, and with him being closer, you realize the bracelet looks cracked. The mainstay portion of it. It looks battle damaged in a way that normal magical recovery doesn't fix. Here, and holds it out to you.
He takes a moment before he actually moves over to Valkyr to take the jewelry.
It's a sort of tarnished brass bracelet with almost like rust has set in, and over time the patina has turned it a sort of silvery green. Like, it looks as if time passed too fast and something broke it. Because the fire opal in the middle, it's tarnished. It's broken.
And can I tell that it wasn't done naturally, or that... Actually,
Make an intelligence check.
hold on, let me check to see if I've got any spells.
Okay.
I mean, I've got fucking detect thoughts, but that's not going to be useful. Or it would be, but it would also be invasive. So, just a base intelligence check then?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Oh, holy shit. 22.
It's not a natural break. You know that immediately as soon as you don't even have to be close enough. The shattering on this is from a deflected attack. Something tried to attack Valkyr, and from what you see, it looked like a sharp point. And considering it's a bracelet? No. It's part of a necklace, part of a set.
Swear I just
It
felt
looked like it broke.
Tsubasa's heart drop with that.
Yeah, it looks like it shattered on impact as a protection. Something tried to attack Valkyr and failed because this was in the way.
What happened to...
I don't want to talk about it, not right now. Give this to Helia. Tell her I said I'll come home when I can.
Oh,
You know what? Tell her to shine a light. I'll come running.
Alright.
I have to get going.
Are you
If
not...
someone named Anastasia shows up, run. Don't look back. Run.
Okay. Who is she?
Death walking. I've gotta go. And he disappears into the ground. Almost into your shadow, and you'd feel like a brief chill down your spine for a half second before you know he's gone.
Tsubasa stares at his shadow for a moment before he looks down at the necklace in his hand.
It's a bunch of moons and stars, and the main centerpiece is a crescent moon with very little pieces of a fire opal.
Helia's not going to be happy. He sighs and takes a look around the area because, alright, where the fuck am I?
You recognize this clearing. It's one of the areas where most people go to relax, and it's not too far from your dorms. He probably deliberately did not lead you too far away so that you wouldn't get completely rained out. You will still be a little damp.
Even with Astra's jacket covering him?
Yes.
Yeah. No, Tsubasa, once he gets his bearings, he holds the necklace close and he bolts for the dorms.
So, now that you're all in the same place, I can, if you want, we can go a little bit over, and we can have the decision in character on whether or not to leave after lockdown lifts.
I feel like that...
Because,
Sorry.
yeah. Because I had the idea of, because there was a bunch of sillies and a bunch of information and things going back and forth, it is almost 10. It's about 30 minutes out. If we go over to 10:30 or 11, I can ask individually you guys your exam questions. Or we can leave that until next time.
Let's give the kids at least some form of a break.
I'm fine with either way.
Yeah, I'm fine with either way, but I've got no issue if we do end up doing it next time.
I'm also fine either way.
I heard an from Cayde.
I think I need time to think about something.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll call it here?
Kayla?
What?
Helia?
I'm fine with calling it here, but
Do you-
when's Healy gonna get the bracelet back then?
Yeah, can we at least do the scene where Tsubasa gives Helia the bracelet? Or
Yeah.
necklace? Yeah. It's going to hurt! You ready, Tala?
I guess.
Ready as you'll ever be. But yeah, Tsubasa goes back to the dorms. I'm assuming right after vanishing right in front of Aster.
Well, Aster went back inside the dorms before Sue wandered off.
Yeah. But Ren had also mentioned that Aster was too late before before Sue disappeared. Which is why I'm trying to figure that out.
I got called by my mother. Sorry.
It's okay.
But I would say too late in the sense of when you start talking to a person who has lingered behind and you've already turned a corner and then you just go, whoa. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so less looking for you and more noticed you were gone.
It's just like, hold on a minute, wasn't he right behind me?
Yeah, I'm switching to the...
No worries.
Those with particularly good hearing, like I'm talking Elven, or, you know, above 20 in perception, would probably hear the distant squeak of a door and a ever so slightly louder and like rumble of thunder outside from the entrance.
And yeah, Tsubasa's coming inside. Where is everyone? Oh, okay. Making my way downtown. Because at this point, it would be safe to assume that that he would know everyone had regathered for studying, yeah, or at least in the kitchen. Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. He comes inside and just
There you go.
I actually saw someone. And at this point, he does look over at Helia and just pauses for a moment, glances at the others, and then, Helia, can you come over into the hall with me? I've got something to talk to you about real quick.
Yeah. Sure. You okay?
I'll explain in a minute. He just sort of ducks outside and waits. And Helia can probably tell that Tsubasa is extremely hesitant about what he has to say before he finally just gives a sigh, and when he looks at her, no insight necessary, you can tell that he does not want to say it, but he has to say it. And he just, I found Valkyr outside.
What do you mean you found Valkyr outside?
I think he's been watching us, Helia. And, well, he said he has been, and I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
Why are you apologizing, Sue? What's going on?
And at this point, he finally does hold out his hand. Hold his hand out towards her and shows her the necklace.
No, it can't be broken, it can't be broken! Please tell me you're lying to me!
I wish I was. He says we should stay here, that it is safer for us, and he told me to tell you to fuck, I forgot the exact wording. What was the exact?
Shine a light.
Yeah. Yeah, he told me to tell you to shine a light. He'll come home when he's able to. But I'm sorry, Helia.
No, it can't be broken. That can't be broken. Broken.
After a moment, Tsubasa reaches out towards her, just sort of I don't know what to say in this instance, hug? Just...
It can't be broken. He was... How is he supposed to hear me now?
I don't know, but... He says that he had learned the hard way that going off-world was dangerous for us. It was what made them see him. And I don't know who them is. He didn't know either. Or he couldn't tell me. But I really am sorry, Helia. I wish I didn't have to tell you this. Do you want to have something you like to eat? We don't have to study anymore. We can just relax for a bit.
Sue?
Yeah?
I was thinking about it, but I have to now. I think I'm going to leave after the lockdown ends.
Helia, he says that's dangerous, though.
So my options are dangerous or miserable, Sue? What sort of choice is that?
It's not a good one, no, but... I don't want you to get hurt too, Helia. Please.
Already hurt, Sue. What's a little more going to do?
He's still around, Helia. He's still watching us.
How much does that matter when he's not here and he won't talk to me?
I don't know, but... Please don't get hurt. Just be...
Tsubasa,
Yeah?
make either an intelligence check or a history check.
Fucking bad modifiers either way. Still... What the fuck?!
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing, yes, but that's the third one in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the fucking 3 ones in a row I had earlier.
Oof.
Harry is
But-
baffled.
So as she's talking, as you're trying to comfort her as you're trying to find any sort of semblance to let her know that he was okay. Skittish, like normal, but more certain of himself. You realize from a seminar that one of the fourth year professors, Professor Salem, once gave to your family to Dominique herself, like when you were very young. It's a distant, like not even crystal clear memory, but you remember them talking about a tactic to confuse your enemies. Of they know you're going to be in one place, so avoid it at all costs. If you have anything, literally you remember this quote from Salem. Listen, I know you want to go hunt him down, get revenge, but they know you're going to be there. So strike him where it hurts the most. Never go towards the place you want to be. Stay away from it. Don't go near them. And it occurs to you, Valkyr doesn't want to be away from Helia. In fact, right by Helia's side is where exactly he wants to be.
He's just confusing the enemy. And yes, he does say that out loud.
How does Helia respond?
To what? I could barely hear Cherry.
Sorry. Tsubasa says, just in that sort of realization voice, he's confusing the enemy.
What the hell are you on about, Sue?
That's why Valkyr isn't. That. Valkyr wants to be here with you, Helia. He wants to, but. I think he's keeping away to protect you. The one thing you.
From what?
From them, whoever them is. Whoever else is working with Queen. You never go to the place that they expect you. And they would be expecting Valkyr to go to you.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
The two at the door. You're kind of aware of what's being said now. Because they're not being subtle
Yeah,
anymore.
no, definitely not being quiet. But yeah, no, Tsubasa over here just. Well. Like, it's when you're going to meet someone, yeah? And you're expecting them to be in a certain place, yeah?
Sure.
But if they don't go there, that's just confuses you and you don't know, and you end up not staying in that place or you don't go to that place, yeah?
I guess.
Valkyr is trying to make sure that the person he meets with, or at the very least the people who are chasing him, don't go to his meeting spot. You are his meeting spot. You are his home, aren't you? You've always said that. They're expecting him to go home. But he doesn't want you to get hurt.
Well, right now, whatever decision he makes hurts me, so
I'm talking
I'm
about.
sorry, I don't mean
I'm
to yell
talking
at you.
about physically, Helia. I know you're hurting. I know how much it hurts that you can't have Valkyr with you, but if it was an option for you to be here and miserable and physically safe, and for you to go out there and, I don't know, be happy, but have Valkyr be unhappy and have you in constant danger, I would rather you be safe, and I know Valkyr would rather you be safe. I know why you want to leave the academy, and I understand that, and I'm sorry I haven't been a good friend in actually understanding that a little bit better. But if you leave, that's one more friend that we don't have. And if you get hurt, or I don't know, if you get killed or something, maybe. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to lose my friend like that. I know you want to go chasing after him, but if you do that, they'll know. And what Valkyr is doing right now, I don't know what he's doing or what will happen, but it might put him in danger too.
He's already in danger, Sue. This necklace was supposed to protect him, and it did, but now it's gone. And that's how we were supposed to talk to each other if anything ever happened. And now that's gone too.
He said to shine a light, Helia, and he'll come running.
But he hasn't.
Because he can't.
Why would he
Question.
tell you that?
Question.
Answer?
Has Helia tried to use her Keyblade?
Since when?
Since the first time she could. If she realized at all that the Keyblade shines a light.
Aside from the one time she was forced to use it in that training exercise, I don't know.
I don't think she has. I can't recall any mention of our Keyblades really being summoned after the training exercise.
Okay.
So, yeah, at which point Tsubasa's just like, I don't know, which light have you been shining? Maybe it's a specific kind.
And he could leave. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to reach him every way I know how, and
Have you tried your Keyblade? They're connected.
why?
They're connected to our hearts. Maybe the connection you have with Valkyr might be what you need.
But what am I supposed to do with my Keyblade, Sue? I don't understand what you're trying to tell me.
Don't know. Take it out and point it at the door? Shine a light at the door with the Keyblade?
Fucking Sora up in this bitch. I know I'm laughing while there's a serious conversation happening, but I have Sora in my brain.
Sora energy.
But yeah, no, Tsubasa after a moment goes and summons his Keyblade. It's just like, uh, look, let's try it together, I guess. I don't know. What is happening?
Also that energy. Yes. Yes, Kuri, that is accurate.
Fucking goddamn it.
It is a key in its base form, so
Does Helia follow suit, or?
In that sort of loose way of she's not entirely sold on this idea.
Yeah, and Tsubasa does flounder for a little bit before he's just like, taps Helia's Keyblade and casts light on it.
Helia. There is a familiar warmth in your chest. Not from the light itself, but a sort of instinctual, once the light is on your Keyblade, you know exactly what to do, and it's indeed to unlock something. a door, a hallway, a heart? Something. Where do you point it?
I don't know because there's the training room door, maybe because it's there and available, and she knows no one's in there.
Do you do that?
I guess.
All those in the kitchen, you go from seeing two people in the hallway to no one in the hallway.
Ah! Aster probably. God damn it! Not again!
God damn it. Oh.
The fuck?
And Helia and Sue, I'll set up this actual place because it is an actual place. To next week's session, but you grimace against the bright, almost painful light of your keyblade, shining both its own light and reflecting what light was cast on it. And eventually, both of them die down, and both of your keyblades desummon, almost as if something commanded them to. And then you hear a, well, I did tell you to shine a light. I didn't think you'd be so obvious about it. You hear Valkyr, confident and worried. And that's where we'll end.
Wow.
Tsubasa over here, just like, I told you! Alright, so stopping recording then?
Gotta find that fucking maid.